Recording. Okay, we're on. Okay, so tonight's short week have and some of this stuff we've touched on before, but I've kind of learned kind of a new little script for how to go about this. So I wanted to pass this on to you guys. So it's all about how to attract or builders, right? And people or sharers, even for that matter. And when I first learned about this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is like there's some magical answer, right? And the magical answer for it, you ready? Is to talk about the business. To talk about the business opportunity. So that is the magical answer to recruiting or attracting builders and people who like to share the product. So some of the new scripts that we've just learned, and I did this, one of them in our last Facebook class, which you guys may have seen. The last post I tagged on there and said, hey, you know what? There are 3 types of people. The first type of person, number 1, is the person who just loves to use the product for themselves. And that's it. In fact, I can tell you, let me read it too here. So I'm get more detail here for you, okay? They just want to live naturally. They just want to learn more about essential oils. They're just excited to use it for themselves and their family. And that's it. So that's type 1. They just want to use it for themselves. The second type of person is one who naturally wants to share this product with other people. So they're the ones who, when they come to an event, they're thinking about, oh my gosh, my sister could use this, and my husband could use this, and my mom could use this. They're thinking of everybody else, right? Of how all these other people in their lives could use it, and not necessarily themselves first, although they may be thinking of themselves first, right? But they have names going through their head, right, of different people that they can think of with different products. Okay, so that's type 2, and those are people, like really, so for us, these are sharers, right? These are people who, because they naturally share the product, and so that's what they're going to do when they enroll. They will be naturally sharing the product. So they are, let's see. So eventually these people usually end up making enough money to pay for their product. That's what this type of person usually does. And then the third type of person is the one who is looking at the person who's presenting it and saying, I want to do that. I want to do what that person is doing. I want to be the one who's delivering the information, or I want to be the one who's presenting. I want to be the one who's teaching. So anyway, and then to just let people know, hey, if you're type 2 or type 3, let's talk. Let's talk after this, whether it's a class that you're teaching or whatever it is, right? Like on the Facebook class, I did it. So I said, I just did it. Hey, just tell me whether you're type 1, type 2, type 3. And then the people who commented, if they were 2 or 3, I sent a message to their like enroller or their upline and said, hey, did you see that she said she was a type 2? She's a sharer. You know, get in touch with her about doing a class, or get in touch with her about getting referrals, or, you know, get her some samples to give out to her friends, whatever it is. Okay, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. Let me grab my other notes here. So one way to do this also is, if you're doing a class or an event, is to do a quick business overview after the class is over. So after people are done, you know, mixing and mingling or whatever, of course you don't want to wait too long, right? You don't want to wait for everybody to mix and mingle, you know what I mean? But say, once people have wrapped up, you don't want to rush people out, right? But say, hey, if you're a 2 or 3, you know, hang around after. We're going to have a quick, you know, 20-minute presentation on the business overview. So that's one way to do it. You can do it right then and there. Or another way to do it is you can follow up with them later and get them on the phone and do a 3-way call with them and somebody in your upline to help explain or not pitch, because I hate that word, but I guess just explain the business compensation plan, or and to help come up with a business plan for them, like to help them find what their goals are. Like, okay, what is it that you want to do? Like, do you want to get your oils paid for? Do you want to do this to replace your income? Like, what, to help them find out, or to help you find out what level are they at, and then how long do they want to take to get there? How much time do they have to invest in that? So then you can come up, or help them come up with a plan to achieve that. Does that make sense? So you're finding out from them, how much money do they want to make? How far do they want to go? How much time do they want to take to get there? And how much time do they have to devote each week? And then you can come up with an action plan accordingly. And sometimes you need your upline's help to do that, just because, I don't know, I still need my upline's help for that too sometimes. So anyway, so those are a few different ways to do it. Or you can just do a one-on-one as well after, and just do a business overview that way. But still finding out that same information, right? Because you want to make it about them. We don't want to ever just like throw the business plan at somebody right out of the gate, right? We want to find out where they're at and what it is that they want or that they need. And when you're approaching that, of course, or talking about the business with anybody, you always want to make sure that you're removing that pressure. You know, I love Tasha Smith in her training. She always says, when she's talking about the business aspect with people, she goes, you know what, most people are curious, even if it's just a little bit. People want to know what the business aspect is all about. So even if you're curious, let's talk about that. Because then you're making it safe for them to ask questions, right? They're not committing to anything. They're just finding out information because they're just curious, because most people are. So if you remove that pressure for them to have to commit to anything business-wise, then it's going to be a more free and more open conversation with them. So anyway, and then if it's not for them, let them know, hey, you know what? No big deal. If you ever change your mind, just let me know, because that door is always open. And that's kind of a nice way to leave it with them. So yeah, so any thoughts or questions that you guys have about that? That's basically the big thing, right? Is to just talk about it. And there's different ways to approach it, different ways to talk about it. But I would say kind of the biggest takeaways for me for this anyway are to let them know that there are different paths, right? It doesn't look the same for everybody. Some people want to do this just to get their products for free. Some people, you know, kind of, or even for fun. Some people just like to do this for fun because it's something they enjoy. And then they end up, like I said, getting their products paid for. And some people want to do this to replace their income. This is what they want to do. They want to be able to have the freedom to work from home or do it when they want to do it, type thing, and just do something a little outside the box. They want that. They want to be the presenter and changing lives. So there's different pathways, and everybody's journey takes a different amount of time to get there as well, right? Like some people it takes years, and some people it takes months. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I think that's important for people to know as well. And then just to remove that pressure, right? So that nobody feels like that you're pressuring them into doing this business opportunity, right? It's just an opportunity. And if they want to take it, great. And if they don't, that's okay too. It'll still be there if they ever change their mind. So anyway, questions? Comments? Things you've tried that have like tanked horribly? Things you've tried that have worked well? Lorraine's typing, I can tell. She looks serious when she types. Best way to detect a builder. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. So a builder, I mean, we're talking builder, right? Like somebody who's going to be like amazing, like superstar right out of the gate. Is that what you're saying, Lorraine? Okay. Well, because a sharer, right, is going to be, like I'm saying sharer, meaning somebody is the type 2, right? The person who wants to get essentially their products paid for. They can end up turning into a builder later on, right? They're the ones who are thinking of everybody else. That person you can end up detecting. Well, there's a few ways. One is if you ask them about their health concerns, they will most likely talk about everybody else before they get to themselves. So for instance, if you ask them, what are your health concerns? They're going to say, well, my daughter is this and this and this, and my husband's this and this, and my sister's this, and my mother's this. Okay, right off the bat, you know that person's a sharer because they're not even talking about themselves, right? They're thinking of everybody else. They're already in that mindset. And yes, you're right. Sometimes sharers do fall in love with it, and then they go big for sure. So that's one way to tell of a sharer. And that's not like 100% like ironclad, but that's typically the way it goes. Because sometimes mothers are just that way, aren't we? We think of everybody else before we think of ourselves. So, but so that's a good way to detect a sharer. As far as a builder goes, it's a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit of a longer, like you're going to need a little bit more time to figure it out. But two things to look for are when you're training them right off the bat, right? Are they competent and are they committed? So are they able to share without you telling them exactly what to say or exactly what to do? Could they still figure it out and do it? That means they're competent. Okay, so they can do it, and then with some training and coaching, they would be like amazing at it. So that's their first thing. They're competent. And then the second one is they're committed. Do they do what they say they're going to, right? Do you set a wellness consult with them and then they flake on you? Are they there? Do they host a class, and do they do whatever they said they were going to do, invite the 10 people they said they were going to, whatever tasks or things that you guys are working on with each other, have they committed to that action item? So yeah, so those are probably the two biggest ways to tell a builder. So if somebody's doing that, then yeah, heck, put them on your front line. Put them right up there, close as you can to you, because that's a great sign. So those are good questions, Lorraine. Oh, good to know. Good, Linda, thanks. Do you have any, what else you got? What other questions you have for me? Lorraine had her thinking look, and now she's got her typing look. I've got it down, I think. We just need to keep talking to people. Absolutely. And Lorraine said, I think I hit sharers mostly. You know what, though? That's okay, because sharers, like you said, turn into builders. And sharers it's not a bad way to go. So yeah, just keep talking to people. You're totally right, Linda, because statistically speaking, yes, I'm planting lots of seeds, totally. Because statistically speaking, for each 20 people that you enroll, only one of them will be a builder. That's kind of depressing to think about. But that's reality. So for me, like statistically speaking, right? Okay. So for me, that's actually comforting, because then okay, sweet. Once you've gotten to all of these no's, you're closer to the next yes. but it's nice to know like what that average percentage is, so that then you're not beating yourself up like, man, I'm not attracting any builders. I'm not enrolling any builders. Well, how many people have you enrolled? Have you enrolled 19? Are you ready for that 20th? And then maybe looking at it too, like, okay, maybe am I talking about the business when I teach my classes, or when I'm talking to people, you know, after they've enrolled? Do they even know that that's an option? Because a lot of times we don't. We become allergic to talking about the business. And it's hard because it's uncomfortable, right? Because we don't want to we don't want people to think we're pushing it on them, and we don't want, I don't know. It's our own hangups a lot of the time why we don't talk about it, right? Has nothing to do with the reality of the situation. It's our own fears and our own inhibitions. So yeah. All right, Lorraine looks like she's got another question.
Forget it, I'm going to talk. This one's too long. What if somebody is good at sharing, and because to share and pay for your product, you have to be an advocate and be placing at least $100 to be able to pay for your products. You have to be an advocate to be a sharer.
Right.
Okay, so I answered my own question. So they're already an advocate, so they don't have to. A lot of times the sharers have the people to share with, but they don't necessarily want to do the business. How do you work around that one? You know, because the people that they would share with might need follow-up, or might need, you just get them to sign the people up under them.
I see what you're saying.
A lot of sharers are in between. They're not quite committed to doing $100 order every month kind of thing, but they're kind of sharing, so they're not going to see those benefits. What do you do because they're sharing? Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does. So there's a few different approaches here that I would go. Well, so we'll go track 1 and track 2. Okay, so track 1 would be, hopefully, if they're starting to share, they're collecting outside orders, right? That's usually the first step in sharing for a lot of people. So,
or even signing up customers.
Yeah, so we'll do that with track 2. Okay, so say first, well, I'll add it on to both. Okay, so say the first step is they collect outside orders before they start to enroll. So they're collecting outside orders to get their LRP up to 100, and then they start enrolling people, and hopefully they'll see that benefit of the payment because their LRP is at 100, right? They're going to be getting the fast starts and then unilevel, and hopefully they will do the follow-up, right? Or at least plug them into something that's going to keep them engaged, like some type of continuing education. So if not, Linda is she's exactly right. So if not, it'd be track 2. If they're not willing to do the follow-up and the work, then they would just refer those people to their upline or whoever the next person is who's doing the business. And then, so say Lorraine, we'll use for example Roberta. So say Roberta has all these people who are ready to enroll, but she doesn't have the time, nor does she want to do the follow-ups with them. She's like, you know what, these people are ready to go, but I just can't do it. So you say, no worries, I'll do it. So you do the work, you are the enroller on those people. You enroll them, you take the enrollership. Doesn't even matter if her LRP is at 100 or not. And then you can enroll those people and follow up with them after and you know, give Roberta or whoever a little gift if you want to say, hey, you know what? Thanks for the referrals. And you know, if you ever want to step in, let me know and I'll help show you how to take this over and do the rest of it. But yeah, you're exactly right. So hopefully help them, show them how to add on orders, or, you know, teach them how to add on orders to increase their LRP to get up to 100, so that then when they are enrolling, they're making money. Or if they don't want to do that and it's below, then exactly what Linda said, just get them to do it as a referral for you, and then you do the work, which is fine, right? Either way is good. I mean, I appreciate either one. I mean, I don't mind if I'm having to do the work for referral, right? Because then I'm going to get the fast start. So it's all good. Either way, it's still helping people and it's helping grow your business and grow your team. Does that help answer that, Lorraine?
Yes.
Good. All right. Well, do you guys have any other questions? That's some good ones. No? Okay. Lorraine looks, are you done, Lorraine? Did you, I can't tell that face.
I know. I'm straining my brain trying to think. Oh, question.
It looks like you're thinking face, but I wasn't entirely sure. You're very distinct. You have a thinking face and you have a typing face. I'm getting very good.
I'm very readable.
Yes, you are. I love it. Awesome. Brandon just walked in. Okay, well, I mean, if you have questions at all, of course, let me know on Breezeshare. I'll post any questions you have up there, any thoughts or whatever. That's always a good place. I will stop the recording.